Ooh.
It gets heavy bass as well in the next bit.
Yeah.
This bit doesn't normally have
That's
that much
not
bass.
bad. Ooh. Filth. Yeah, boy.
I'm feeling it. What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the first episode of the True Gamer podcast of 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good, except we just spent a few minutes talking about how good we are with branding. I really wish we would have run the first episode of the True Gamer podcast in 2022. We could have slicked that up nice.
Was it not good at all?
It was okay.
I felt like it was okay, but
But I feel like we could have maybe workshopped that a little bit.
do you know what? We do,
That's
start
it.
as we
Start
mean
from
to
the
go
beginning.
on. Start as we mean to go on from the bottom. That's so it's good.
Yeah, from the bottom, we can only go up.
Conbrosations.
Now, first tangent.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the first episode of 2022
Yeah.
of the True Gamer podcast right here. It's been a good little break. We had a little bit of a break over the holidays, got some family time some gaming time in, and we're back here today to talk more game with you guys. I hope you guys have been doing good. A lot of people have been messaging us in the Discord server and stuff like that at the time. So we know all you guys have been cool, been getting some good presents and things like that. How's your holiday been, man?
Yeah, it was okay. I gotta say, personally, as a Christmas run-up thing, this Christmas was shit.
Yeah?
I really felt like this Christmas didn't feel like Christmas at all. I've said Christmas a lot. It didn't feel Christmassy.
Was it because of Boris Johnson and he's like, well, maybe you shouldn't go to Christmas, but you know, only if you feel like it's a really important thing.
I mean, it's Christmas, Boris.
So I was like, what kind of, you know, when like government's supposed to set dedicated like hard guidelines.
You must do this.
It's
you
like,
may not do that.
I mean, if you feel like it's a really important event,
Right.
it's like, but if you don't feel like, don't. So what kind of nonsense is this?
Emphasis on the nonce. So I didn't feel like Christmas was too Christmas. This is the first year in my entire life. I can't remember how old I am. 30 plus.
That's too many years to count.
Oh, yeah, who's keeping count?
Incalculable.
Calm me down. That we haven't had a Christmas tree.
Oh,
We
really?
didn't bother. Normally, ever since I moved to, ever since when we were a kid, my mum moved there.
Yeah.
Every year, we'd go up to the high street, buy a Christmas tree, and I would carry it home because my mum's lazy. But like, it's kind of a tradition. This is the first year we haven't done that in like 15 or 16 years. It's the first year I've had no Christmas tree. And I really didn't care this year. Normally, I'm big, by the way. I'm massive on it being a real Christmas tree. I don't like, you know, your Christmas tree. I like your Christmas tree. I like the way it looks. You would not catch that in my house. I need that pine
You're
smell.
a purist. Okay.
I need the smell of the Christmas tree. It's half the Christmas tree.
So hold on. Two things I've picked up from this.
Yes.
One, your mother doesn't love you anymore.
Facts. I mean, anymore.
That was okay.
Never.
This was when she made
slavery,
it official. That's why it's right there. And you are actually just Scrooge because you didn't even put up a fucking tree.
It was her decision. But like, we all were like, yeah, this year's not too good. But also Halloween.
One of those collective moments where we're like, should we?
Yeah, everybody was
get a
like,
tree?
my mum was like, you know, I'm thinking about like just not doing the Christmas tree, and all of us were like, okay. It just, no one was like, we just weren't in the Christmas spirit really. Same with Halloween, like, no one really did decorations, at least not near me. No one was really out trick or treating. When I was walking backwards and forwards, getting little bits and bobs for like mum, there weren't people like having parties. Like normally you can hear Christmas.
Yeah.
There wasn't really any of that. Also, it was damp and rainy. Yeah. It just didn't feel very good. I mean, it was fun. I had a lot of fun with my family.
That's good.
Great food. Had a lot of time to actually, I was going to say to game. I spent most of it sorting out the game I was playing.
Bugs and whatnot.
Which, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen that journey. And somehow, by the way, people are tweeting me like, hey, how did you fix this? I'm having the same bug. I'm like, first of all, it's nice to know I'm not the only one. And second of all, just, why do you think I know?
Did you somehow think...
I'm not one of the
Let me just check my Twitter bio. Does it say Messiah of Game Bugs?
Right. But I actually did have a really good Christmas time. Great food. Jammed with the family. Got some gaming in. and I had a good time. It just didn't feel super Christmassy. I really want a day where it's like snowy and I can be in the Christmas jumper. And I mean, snow's a bit much to ask in the UK, but
yeah, and with how like global warming's pushing the fucking winter to like early spring and spring areas.
But I had a really good time.
Yeah,
it just didn't feel super Christmassy. And I like the Christmas feel. I like normally in the run up to Christmas, people are like happy and jolly, and you see less people like arguing, more people like, oh, you go first, and less of that. Exactly. Yeah. I didn't really feel that, but I had a good time. What about you, man?
I had a good time as well. I lied to my parents that I had COVID, so I didn't have to.
Yes, you did. I almost died laughing.
It was a proud moment of mine. I really am proud of that. Thank you very much for all the support, everyone out there. My parents can get too much, and they've getting, especially this year, they were very too much. Yeah. And I was like, nope. Christmas, I'm going to try and enjoy. Isla is like 1.5 years old, so she's a bit more interactive than she was last year.
Christmas, she was a blob.
She was a blob there. I was like, okay. And so this time she was a bit more excited, so I was like, let me enjoy this Christmas like that. New Year's I spent with them and everything was fine. It was all good, but that was how that went. And I had some good time. I had a very good time gaming. There's a lot of games that I played. I played a ton in my catch-up period and whatnot. I have had so much fun with that because I was really bummed out that I missed so many games and also started so many games and then didn't finish them. Yeah. And I've got to the end of a bunch of games. Like, I feel so great. The completionist in me is very happy.
I finished the game and was really happy with it. And then, by the way, I need to borrow your Ratchet & Clank because I cannot find mine anywhere.
What?
So can I borrow yours so I can finish it, please?
I mean, for a price, yeah.
But the price is I have to spend time with you. I've paid my dues.
Fair point. He has paid more than enough. It's like community service.
Right, yeah. Bro, I'm like 6 years deep into this, 10 years deep. Like I'm owed games.
Yeah, but it was a good holiday, I think, in general. Stuff like that. Got some good presents, stuff like that was nice. Everything Superman related, obviously. Yeah. That's the only thing people know me for. It's in my family. Not just you guys. Not just you guys at home.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone, my mum got me the full Christopher Reeve and the Brandon Routh set of Blu-rays, and I was like, I've been looking at that and I've been getting it. Sick. And then someone else goes and buys me like Superman socks, and I'm like, it's good.
Gotta love a pair of socks.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Some people don't know, especially if you're new around here. Like, our conversations often devolve into Batman versus Superman, but that also happens off camera. To the point where a Batman or something came up organically. My brother mentioned it, and I started talking. And my chick goes, "Oh fuck, not now. Again! Like for once,
not again.
Like it's Christmas. Can you not?" I'm like, "No, I have my priorities, and I picked Batman over you.
There you go.
Get fricked."
I can't remember if I mentioned this either on the Conbrosations podcast or if it was the True Game podcast. Did I mention the Stones of Knowledge that I got?
Yeah, you did on Conbros.
On Conbros. Yeah. I'll mention it here because one of the bros might be watching it right here. But my girlfriend, talking of Superman presents they got me, my girlfriend bought me this. It's called the Stones of Knowledge from the Smallville TV show. It was 3D printed and then decorated and stuff like that by a guy called Crusader Props on Etsy. The link will be in the description if you guys want to check that out. If I have mentioned this, I'm sorry. Our brains don't work like the memory portion doesn't work exactly. But very, very cool stuff. Yeah. As a Smallville fan, I jizzed my pants, and I'm doing a bunch of pictures of me holding them in the way that Clark holds them in the show, and stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff. I think that's right there. There we go.
Talking of epic things and epic bros, we do have a group of people that we need to thank.
We do.
Specifically, our super bros over on patreon.com/conversations. Oh, I really went for that, and I nearly got it. Over patreon.com/conversations, who make this show, everything happen, really. Yes. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunley, Jeremy Renner, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy FIFA Fanatic Joe McCormack, My Juicy Left Nut, the Super Sexy Producer Sean, Big Boy Billy, Catsper the Friendly Patron, and Kevin, the #1 simp.
Fuck that up so bad.
You've ruined everything. Everyone write in the comment section, Sheps, you suck.
You ruined the joke. We're always looking forward to it.
Everyone was like, oh, here's the bit. And it's all gone now.
Ruined.
Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on. I'm sorry about how we started 2022.
I apologize.
First episode back.
Now that we got the most important thing, that our Super Bros out of the way, what games did you play?
Oh boy.
And how did you find them?
Actually, do you know what? for this episode only, we're going to move that.
Oh yeah.
We're going to move it because this episode is actually
That's
about
right.
our game of the year and everything we've been playing in 2021 and talk about what our favorite one is. So we're going to move that temporarily for this one episode and then back to regular scheduled programming next week. Before we get into everything, which again, as I said, game of the year episode, this episode, I'm going to remind you guys about a few things that's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
As of the recording of today, it's a couple of days out. It's on Sunday. By the time you guys get this, it will be tomorrow. Conbrosations Day is happening on 9th of January.
Sunday the 9th.
Sunday the 9th, you guys need to be there. It's a massive community event where all of the Conbros guys get together. We have laughs. We play games.
Yep.
We talk all kinds of nonsense. Make ourselves look stupid for your entertainment.
Facts.
And just celebrate Conbrosations, celebrate the community, celebrate your faces and fingers touching keyboards and then writing messages to us.
I really wish we would have workshopped that one as well.
And then touching other things as well. Don't worry about that. Of course, we always appreciate that.
But it's cool because we're going to be hanging out. We've got, we'll be gaming. We've got some stream games. We've got some competitions, a few giveaways.
Oh, yeah.
Some updates for like stuff that we have.
Yeah, it's usually where we also announce a few we announce a few announcements for what's going on the channel, what's going on, things like that, and you guys get to know all about it. It's all really cool there, little tweaks to things that may be going on. As well as that, this is the first episode back since we've been able to talk since it's happened, but Spotify have now started the ability for people who listen, I should say, to rate the podcast. Usually we can only do that on Apple Podcasts, but now if you're listening to us on Spotify, like so many of you guys already have, you guys can head over there and rate us 5 stars. We've already got 18 great people who have been like 5 stars. This place is amazing. Love it. Do more of this. So thank you so much to those guys. If you're listening right now, please take a few moments. Go over to the Spotify app, go to our podcast listing at the top, 5 stars. It really helps us out. Right now, we're doing really, really well. Thank you to everybody who has done that.
It helps us grow and helps the audience grow, and that means the community grows. And, it's cool.
It's really good. And most importantly, it's free. It's free to do.
Free. It's free to do. And I mean, we need a lot of you on Spotify to do it because obviously the audio virgins, their votes are like 1/5 of a real vote.
Yeah, they're not classed as real people.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
So we need about 5 times as many people on there to,
It's like if you're a PC gamer, it's like half a person.
Right.
Audio virgin, even less.
Exactly.
Exactly. Right there. But thank you so much in advance for you guys to do that. Another thing, we have done a few episodes of a game called Together B&B. It's our like co-op sort of gameplay, video, comedy sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
Go and check that out. We recorded a good stint of it, and all of those parts are edited and up in 4 parts. You can go check that out. It's a funny,
it's weird
dating sim.
I'm still not sure.
Or horror.
Maybe both.
But we are helping some girls out in a B&B who is owned by our brother. Apparently that we've never met. And they need coffee and talcum powder.
They do. And also there's clones of the same 3 guys. One's a wife beater. One owns a general store, but is also a gem specialist.
Yeah, or drugs, whatever that was. I don't know.
I mean, it's a game.
It's a game, and you guys should go check that out. A few people have said
it was pretty good fun. It was pretty good fun.
That's the thing. I love the random nature.
The game wasn't fun, but the playing of the game was fun. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Let us know what that's if you guys like that. I did get as Andy on Discord is his name. He messaged me. It's like, please keep doing the B&B series. It's my favorite YouTube series as of now. I'm like, you have poor taste, but thanks.
Terrible taste, but mainly because you're watching us. That's the big issue.
That's the issue, right? That's the issue, right? But go check that out. It's awesome stuff, and hope you guys.
And also, if you guys enjoy it and you like it and leave comments and stuff, it lets us know that you want to see that kind of content, and we'll start making more of that kind of content. Yeah,
exactly. Bro.
Yes,
this is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right.
Coming to everybody's eyes and ears every Saturday.
Yep.
Saturday. I forgot what day we normally do. Saturday here on YouTube.com/
Just search for the True Gamer Podcast.
Just search for the True Gamer Podcast.
Yeah.
You can find us if you do watch us on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so you can get our videos as and when they happen. Except for maybe not, because YouTube doesn't give a crap.
Yeah.
As well, you can find us on podcast services. Just search for the True Gamer Podcast. You can find us on any podcast service out there. We're on every single damn thing. On the relevant places like Spotify, Apple. Rate us 5 stars. It helps us out. You know the spiel. As well as that, if you want to take your support extra further, if you want to go that extra step, go the extra mile, you can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations, where you can kick us a couple of bucks a month. We help support the channel, buy better technologies, better things, keep our energy drink addiction alive and well. And
it's not just for us. You get extra stuff. You get 2 bespoke, custom podcasts. The Conversations podcast, our unfiltered anything goes podcast, and the True Gamer podcast, the 2 Gamer Plus supplementary podcast. It's the sorry, it's more of him, but beggars can't be choosers. Oh wait, they're not beggars, they're paying.
They're paying, exactly.
You paid to suffer. I hope you're into that.
Oh god. Slowly turn into BDSM. It's like, you're paying for this, aren't you? Yeah, you get extra benefits like those podcasts. You also get early access to this podcast at the $5 True Gamer level, and you get your name read out on the show, just like these people.
Oh God, why? You knew it was coming. You started it.
I set it up.
Why did you do it?
Here we go. Jeremy Horde. We're a dumpster truck on fire. That's what we are. Jeremy Horde, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut, Isak Manny, Adam the Melissa Bonnie Simp, Cats McCorrell, Kevin Crow, Sab2557, Random Wavelength, hello boys,
Gaming.
Here we go. Joe McCormack, Diogo, Billy, Polio Poothie, Got Me Disabled, aka Zacchino.
Oh, God.
Me and Zach have been having some great fun in Twitter DMs. This guy's something. Sussy Imposter. That sounded really weird.
I was going to just let it slide.
Let's not talk anymore about that. Sussy Imposter moment. Sussy Imposter Among Us moment. Batfan, a.k.a. the better Eddie clone. Correct,
Facts.
in fact. Danny Dano, Fishy the Jackal, Alpha Aquila, Max H, Cobra SS, and Albie Scory. Thank you, boys, so much for keeping the lights and mics on and everything going here at Conbrosations.
That's right.
You guys are legends.
That's right.
Bro.
Let's actually get into the podcast.
Yes, so today is, as I said before, our Game of the Year 2021 episode. We're going to go through all the games that we've played, things that we love about them, and then at the end, give our official award for Game of the Year.
Yep.
I've also asked the people in the community, and I've done a poll for them to choose from.
Okay, you like their poll.
I do like their poll. I've given them an opportunity to choose one collective Game of the Year. Okay. So there'll be our Game of the Year, and then there'll be the people's true gamer choice of the of the year. Okay. So I'm going to kick it over to you first.
Okay.
A game that you've played that you've had fun with.
Just any game?
A game that you've had fun. So you might have played a game ago that wasn't very good.
I've had fun with.
Yeah, a game that you think is worth mentioning.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank.
Enjoyed
lovely,
it a lot.
Lovely. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was actually going to start with, I wanted to make a couple of not concessions, but conditions. For example, one of my favorite franchises, one of my favorite series of games of all time, Mass Effect. The Mass Effect Legendary Edition did come out. I don't think it should be in the running.
I agree.
Because it's a remake, remaster, I don't freaking know, but it's not new.
Yeah,
it didn't come out this year. The games didn't come out this year. They're just a better looking version of games that came out almost a decade ago, right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that
right. So it shouldn't be in there. Forza obviously can't be in there because it's shit.
And broom broom,
cargo, brrr.
Exactly. Death Stranding director's cut can't be in there.
Ghost of Tsushima,
exactly.
The director's cut. I mean, even though it's a DLC, that was new, but Ghost of Tsushima wins.
It's Ghost of Tsushima. There you go. Ghost of Tsushima wins, guys. There we go. Maybe in return they'll give you one we've won duels for the award.
They won't. They hate me.
I see people tagging you.
It hurts. It hurts. The worst thing is people will be like, they'll announce something. That's great. Now give Sheps 1v1 duels. And I'm like, please. But look, it's DLC. And it's a game from 2019. It's it's not in the running. Yeah. You know?
Fair. I agree. Fair. Cool. So you're saying Ratchet and Clank?
Ratchet and Clank. That is a game I had fun with.
It was really, really cool, right?
And I totally finished it.
You was like, I'm going to play this on stream. And that's where it stayed.
Yeah. So I decided I wasn't going to do that, and then I booted it up, and I couldn't find the disc, so I didn't boot it up. I tried to, but anyway.
What did you like about it? What was that stood out to you?
Honestly, it's going to sound silly. I thought the graphics were stunning. It's cartoony, but the fact that you had, even in performance mode, you had ray tracing. Yeah. And the big thing for me was it's the first and so far the only. kind of an out there statement, but I'm going to say it's the only true PS5 game we've really got so far. I feel like just about everything else so far could be played on a PC or a PS4 or something, with a little porting.
Yeah.
But specifically the way that the portals work is so, it just sort of speaks to this is what the PS5 can do, that it's the only game I've played so far that made me go, man, this is for sure, like I didn't accidentally boot up my PS4, right? This is definitely the PS5. And I found it really satisfying and really cool to see. And as a kind of a bit of a tech geek and nerd, like I liked experiencing the portals and thinking like, okay, that is the SSD working in the ways that we discussed when it was released, and people said it won't make that much of a difference, and then you see it and it does make that much of a difference. So Ratchet & Clank spoke to me because I'm a bit of a nerd and I wanted to see the PS5's, specifically the SSD, working, and that is a great sort of tech demo for it, because I love Ratchet & Clank and I'm one of those guys. I think they don't make bad ones, they just make ones that you prefer over other ones, and this is a good one. It was a lot of fun. And it sort of felt like getting a golden age. It's like one of those top titles for PlayStation. It's smaller, but it's like when you think PlayStation only games, it's things like Spyro, Crash, Ratchet and Clank, and obviously other things like God of War and stuff.
Like that,
But it's more of the kiddie side of it. But it feels like a PS5. It's like a family game, but it's PlayStation.
I was going to say on that topic, it's like the other Ratchet and Clanks and the other stuff like that, I think they were more kiddie than this one. Not that this one isn't kiddie. I feel like this one had a bit more... You
haven't played any of those, have you?
I've only ever seen like gameplay, and I've only seen people talk about it and stuff like that. It's just never been up my street before. But this one spoke to me because of the tech stuff, because we're both like into that shit. And when I played it, I was like, this isn't that kiddie. Don't get me wrong, it's not going around dropping F-bombs.
Right.
But it's a bit more...
There's some mature themes, there's some funny like innuendos and jokes.
Yeah. And I really like that.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it?
I just like you, Ratchet and Clank is just fucking fantastic.
It's good fun.
I did like it as like a initial showcase of what the PlayStation 5 can do, and
a way better thing than Knack, say. Like,
yeah,
Knack was not a particularly good game. It was a tech demo of a game.
The thing with Knack is that you had to think about how it was good.
Yeah.
It's like, all those tons of like little bits and stuff like that have got their own physics to them. Cool, I see how that would do it. But a normal person doesn't think like that. No. We're the only assholes that think like that.
Facts.
When you see a gorgeous reflection of cars flying in the sky in the opposite direction off of Thing's head.
Clank's head, I was about to say.
You're like, oh my God! Whoa, this is amazing.
And I was playing it in performance mode. That's my chosen way to play games is I would always pick sort of higher/smoother frame rate over like graphical fidelity. And even then, I was like... I had a couple times I checked. I'm like, this is in performance mode, right? I didn't actually accidentally switch on ray tracing. It was just that, like, in particular, in that first like early level, that we saw in like all the promo material, you can catch reflections through glass. How are they doing that?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
And I remember just a little bit of Ratchet and Clank stuff. So they had to go in and make some of the ray tracing less realistic. So in the shuttle when you get in, because of the way like spoon, concave and convex shapes work,
inside of the window
would get like mirrored and inverted, and then it just feels wrong. But so they had to go in and change it to make it look more realistic, even though it was working properly.
Yeah, that's a realistic reflection, but it looked so off because
you're in a game.
You don't think in games it's going to be that good.
Like in reality, because you trust your eyes, you'd be like, okay, that's what that looks like. But in your head, that isn't how it would work. So they had to go in and change it, even though it's correct. So like, it's so good, it will confuse you, sort of stuff. It's
so mad.
Anyway, I had a lot of fun with it, and it was fun from like a tech aspect. It was fun because it's a franchise that I like, and it got me kind of hopeful, which then ended up being a bad thing for like more golden age of gaming, stuff to play on my PS5, Sony exclusives, stuff like that, which didn't really pan out. This year's been a little bit slow in that specific regard. but it was good fun.
Yeah.
What about you? A game that isn't Ratchet and Clank that you had fun on?
A game that isn't Ratchet and Clank. I've got a bit of a list here to pick from.
Okay.
I have to give a shout out to Deathloop.
Okay.
So Deathloop is one of those ones where it's like, you die and you lose everything, and you come back and you start from almost a new state. There are certain things that you can bring over with you, that you infuse it with some powers that you've got and some abilities, some stuff that you can collect and whatnot. But I really loved how they managed to weave the narrative, and this is the same with like Returnal, weave the narrative into that part of the loop aspect. Mm-hmm. Normally these kind of games you would see in like an indie game, and they would reference the loop, but that's not enough in my opinion. It would be like
a not cold, but like a static line about, oh, can't believe I'm doing this again or something. And it's like, it's referencing the fact that you've died and come back, but it's never actually addressing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they added this extra level into the whole like loops and like roguelites and stuff like that, where there's different times of day within each loop that you can go to. So it's not just the same loop over and over again. It's a puzzle where you have to go to a certain area.
This place at night so that this thing in the day is off, and then
Exactly, and that's what made it super interesting. I was like, oh, and then on top of that, you had all the great voice acting from Colt and what was her name?
Oh, I know who you mean, but I don't remember.
Yeah, the female character. Yeah. I'm going to just quickly search it in Deathloop characters. Juliana Blake. That's it. Juliana and Colt both are fantastic. They were great. And then the way they played into each part of it.
See, the way you spoke about that is the only time I've been interested in... I've actually been interested in roguelites twice.
Right.
One, because you're talking about the narrative being woven in, and I've no other interest at all.
Than the narrative, yeah.
Then that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And I kind of would like to experience that, but I just don't dig it. And I'm a little bit interested in Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, that's for a different day. It's still a discussion. But normally roguelites, very much not my thing.
Yeah.
Just not how I like to play games. I just don't like that idea. The way you talk about like having the narrative worked into the way it is, that it's a roguelite, sounds interesting. And it makes me think like, I probably wouldn't finish the game, but I might put 5 hours on it to be like, oh, I like what they did here. It's not a game for me, but I mean, look, 5 hours, I can be a journalist, right? I can easily do a full review. Dickheads. Anyway.
I think with Deathloop, it might be one of the ones that you would, maybe not. I think you would vibe with actually, because it's one of those things where it's not the losing of the dying doesn't necessarily mean you lose everything.
Okay,
it's like you do lose the weapon that you might have found that was pretty cool, but you'll pick another weapon up later. Don't worry about that. And you pick each time you go through the loop, you find out different clues that are then going to help you get through the loop even further on the next time. And I think it's a good puzzle thing. I think you would like it. I really enjoyed that game. I didn't finish it just yet, but I've got really close to the end. It's one of those games that's again on my backlog. But that was...
But you put some time on it.
I put so much time into it. Yeah. I'm not going to... That's why I couldn't put it in my game of the year, because I was like, I haven't finished it. I'm not going to put it in for that running.
It might be at the honourable mention. And then he wakes up and it was all a dream.
It was all pointless.
No.
Forget it.
Ruined. Yeah.
Wake up next to Juliana. It's like, Anyway, that's one of my honourable mentions.
Okay, honourable mentions. Honourable mentions. Okay, so Ratchet and Clank was probably my honourable mention. It's not Game of the Year. It's probably never going to win Game of the Year, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it was well, yeah.
Honourable mentions, I have my list up. So, this one bugs me. Kenna.
Oh, yeah.
Kana.
Sorry, what? Excuse me?
I actually haven't gone back to Kenna. But I keep...
Blunder of 2021, right?
I keep eyeing it up. Every time I fire up my PlayStation, I'm looking at... Like, I haven't got rid of it. And I did... Like, I immediately... Once I finished Guardians, it's gone. You know? But I haven't got rid of Kenna. I expect I'll come back to it, but I've never booted it back up. But I really enjoyed it. And the fact that it came out at the price point that it did, in the middle when there was nothing really to play, with, like, clearly... some decent story in it, interesting mechanics, an interesting world. honorable mention. Like I did enjoy what I was playing of it up to the point where I got like tangentially stuck. Yeah. Not really stuck. I didn't try hard, but I kind of want to go back and at least get past that boss and see what's there.
Yeah.
But I just have found myself not booting it back up. But everything I did play, I really enjoyed.
That's good.
Really enjoyed.
I finished that one in my break, like I mentioned in the last episode.
Thoughts?
And I really liked it. I really liked it. I don't think it's game of the year per se. I think it's really up there.
Honourable mention, yeah.
Really up there, but it was a fantastic game. What I really liked about this game is that other studios, game studios, the way they work is they start to make games and then they slowly increase their quality and stuff like that and go higher and higher and higher. And then eventually, like Uncharted, Naughty Dog, for example, they get from game development to almost movies.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the way they go. These guys are essentially a animation movie studio.
They started in the middle, yeah,
and then went to gaming, and it shows because everything looks gorgeous.
That's one thing.
Animations are beyond anyone that should be at that level. That's what's
it's
fantastic
funny
about it.
Because my biggest complaint and the reason I put it down is about the gameplay, because the art is gorgeous and actually, like, graphically, it isn't the most stunning game ever. Like, like you can very easily see like pixelation on grass and things like that if you look for it. But the point is that it's more of a you look at the broad picture. You shouldn't focus in on little things. You should be looking at the scenery.
And also animation, because they're an animation studio.
Yeah.
Other people might do great animation, but this is their bread and butter.
Exactly.
So it's always a league in their own and whatnot. So it stands out really.
But the thing that made me stop playing or not like just love and vibe with the game is, at least in the early days of it, it may well have been patched different now, the combat was clunky.
Yeah, it was.
If it had just been if it had been slick and smooth, I absolutely would have finished it, like without question. Because where I got like stuck was it's the Wood Knight. He's like the first real boss.
Yeah. The Dark Souls boss.
Which again, I don't really mind that because I'm not playing it as a Souls type game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing it to experience the art and stuff. I couldn't really care less about the combat.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mind hard boss fights, but it was very clear that like parrying is the way to beat this guy. It's, at least when I was playing it, it was like freaking impossible to get. There was like lag between hitting the command and it getting to the game, then lag between it getting up and when it starts, and like and not in a case of like, oh, you just need to start blocking earlier. Like, no, it didn't.
The window was weird. It almost seemed like the window shifted.
Yes,
it was never in a consistent spot. They did sort it out in the patches.
Okay.
They made it like a more consistent and a bit wider, so you could actually hear it. Otherwise, that probably would have been a game that I never would have been able to finish.
Yeah,
because you can't predict something that moves around.
That's the thing, is I don't mind hard, and I don't mind having to go like, okay, cool, I need to start blocking earlier. That's the thing you learn, right? That's the thing you adjust to. But it didn't seem to work, and that's what bugged me. Because otherwise, beautiful game, interesting enough story, and I hope they'll go into that stuff on their arm.
Yeah,
I presume they do. It was the combat. It was the actual playing of the game that was a little bit clunky. It just wasn't very refined, and that took me out of it a bit. But otherwise, really good. And the fact that they're not a game studio, really, they're an animation studio, which kind of showed in the combat a bit. Yeah. But definitely an honourable mention. I enjoyed it up until the point that I put it down. You know what I mean? So,
I'm going to mention. Do you mind if I mention one or two back to back? So two of these, and I'm not mentioning them because back to back, or two of them because they're Xbox games, but I do really want to mention them. Forza Horizon, I did play.
Yeah,
it was very, very fun, very, very good looking.
Yeah, you enjoyed the story and the character development. Yeah,
it didn't have any.
Car
did go brr, but I did have a lot of fun with it, and I feel like it's worth mentioning here because as much jokes as we have online and stuff like that, I still don't believe it can be Game of the Year, but
it's not appropriate.
Exactly. There are other games out there that have so much more. I mentioned this most time. So much more other things in it that trump all of the ability to, like, it looks great and plays well. Okay, it does stunning in those categories, but then there's other games that do those things plus tell an amazing story, plus do this, plus do that.
For graphics, for sound design, amazing. Yeah,
quality piece of gaming right there. I really love my time in it. I've still got it on the PC and I've not installed it. There's a reason for that because I feel like it's just great. And another one I want to mention is Age of Empires 4, and the reason why is because I don't want to bore people's minds out. I really love my RTS games, and I haven't played one in a long time, and it just brought it all back to me. My God, that's so fun! Just playing the different wars in all of history and stuff like that. It just sets you up in a mode. It's like, you are King so and so of the.
Right.
This is the Battle of Hastings, and it's like, oh yeah,
I heard about that in school once.
I was like, 1066. Yes, I know this one. Like my history teacher would not shut up about it. And then you play the scenario, and it's like, oh shit, this is actually quite fun. And it's almost like it's giving me a history lesson. This is the way it should be done, guys, not the way you did it in school.
Exactly. We should be playing RTS games, not right.
Those two games were very, very good.
Yeah.
They were very polished as well. Very, very well done. Hit a certain spot for a certain number of people. I liked it. That was really good there.
One that I don't feel like I can bring up, but I feel like needs to be spoken about is Halo Infinite. And actually not the multiplayer, because the multiplayer is good. Like, everybody knows it's good, but we're not going to talk about it because of the trash progression system. No progression system.
I was going to say, nobody brings this up for some reason. I'm going to be fair. There are people that bring this up, but people, whenever they're giving the praise to the Halo Infinite multiplayer, seem to neglect the stupid progression system, the predatory microtransactions, the reason for that, and why it went free to play in the first place when it was completely not needed. Yeah. But anyway, this is not a negative podcast. We're doing positive stuff here today. But the campaign.
In particular, the campaign, which, in fairness, I haven't played. And I don't know why. I haven't watched too much in the way of campaign stuff because I want to play it. But the only way to play it is here on the rig. So I don't know how I'm going to square that circle.
It's going to be an issue, but we're going to have to work it out somehow, right?
We will.
Because you're a big Halo fan. You need to at least get it in your veins, right?
I do.
I started Halo, and I haven't gone back to it yet because there's been so many other things I want to play and whatnot, and it's still going to be there for me. But, and of course, I'm not a Halo fan, so I'm not like, I'm just new to this.
I think you can see it, but I grew up with it. There's a difference.
That's the thing. If I had your level of fandom for it, that would have been one of the things I finished by the time I came to this.
For sure, yeah.
But because I'm not, it's just one of those things that's on the back burner for me, like a bunch of other games that I've got. I started it, and the intro was good.
Yeah, I watched that with you.
The intro
looked good.
Was good. I really enjoyed that. It was jarring, to say the least, when it went out into the open world, and I don't personally like the whole Far Cry-esque shooting up a bunch of bandit camps.
That's why we're not talking about Far Cry.
Exactly. It's not on the list at all. It wasn't even in the options I gave for the thing because it's just not the bandit camps, and then also like high value targets that then don't really give you anything in return. I don't see the appeal to those things. I really don't. If there's a trophy at the end of it, I'll do it, but it's not for enjoyment. I'm doing it for the trophy. And that's the feeling that I got when I played the game. It's another thing. Is like, why did this need to be open world? Why did the multiplayer need to be free to play? You just did it for what reason?
Because I want to bring up, because I love Halo, and this is apparently a good one, or like the best 343 is the way that people are saying it. Which because Halo 4 wasn't dog shit. But it wasn't good. Halo 4 was not good compared to like 2 and 3 and
the
stuff,
right?
Ones, but it was okay. So if it's better than that, then okay, I'll play. You know, I didn't like 4, but then that means I would like this if it's better than, Little things like that do bug me though. Like, I haven't played it, but like the high value targets, right? I don't think it would be too unrealistic to have like the end boss sequences have, say, 5 additional enemies that if you killed them out in the world don't arrive.
Yeah.
Right?
A bit of something, right?
Where like your actions in the playing of the game affected the game. If you're going to make it open world, make it so that some of your actions affect things. That seems obvious to me and not too difficult to work in. Like,
Yeah, personally too.
Like one epic version, like a really tough grunt, a really tough brute, a really tough elite, like a high value target of one of each of the races that would otherwise turn up and make your life a bit more difficult at a key point, and you kill that guy and he isn't there.
Yeah.
That seems easy enough, right? Right? Am I stupid?
There is that, and I think the real breakdown was the fact that because they decided to go for this open world thing, which no one was asking for. Correct. And no one forced them into.
Yeah.
It's caused a lot of problems, especially because now they're trying to your famous saying, square that circle,
Yeah.
when it comes to co-op in an open world. How do you work out progression? Like if somebody strays too far, which they're totally allowed to do in an open world,
Yep.
then does the other person get left behind? There's got to
Right.
be a checkpoint system. There's got to be areas that get locked out when you go into
But
them.
that's a totally different infrastructure
Exactly.
to a single player open world. Like Destiny did it pretty well, but it was designed specifically to be a
multiplayer. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing they run into. Anyway, we mentioned it. We can't speak authoritatively about it because we haven't played all of the campaign, especially me. But the multiplayer we have played, it's good fun.
It's good fun. It's a good shooter.
A lot of cons on the side of it, but it's a fantastic
While
shooter.
you're in the game, it's really good fun.
Yeah.
You know? So
Corwin has gone hard on that game. The guy is like, this is, I think what it is that he's a big Doom guy.
Yeah.
He loves his Doom. He loves the armor of Doom guy.
I mean, Master Chief is just Doom guy in space.
And then he just saw Master Chief and was like, that guy looks like I'm gonna love this guy. This is the next time I love.
I did tell you,
if anyone makes another game and it's kind of similar sort of Doom armor, then he's gonna move over to that.
Like I did tell you before you played Combat Evolved somewhat recently.
Yeah.
And I said, I already know you like the game because you enjoyed Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. And Master Chief is just Doom guy in space. Instead of demons, he fights aliens, but it's the same basic dude.
Yeah.
So I know you already like it. And that was a good breakdown, roughly, of Halo. But really, it's a good breakdown of the original 3. I don't really know or vibe too well with 343s. They kind of ruined it, you know? So anyway, honourable mention. While you're playing the multiplayer, it's good. And if it's the best of the 343 games, which is the best you can say about it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Honourable mention.
I have one more honourable mention until I go on to my official one. Do you have any more left you want to talk about?
I have one game that I wish I'd played.
Okay.
So it's not really an honourable mention, but It Takes Two.
That's another one as well. You brought up, I have to be honest, he brought it up as a game that we should play together and like maybe do some content of it and stuff like that. But life is just so fucking hectic and it gets in the way.
Things get in the way. But it was one that...
One of the things I'm like, oh man.
It's one that looked really interesting to me. And again, it looked like it would be good content. That's fun. But like content, when we make it, is just stuff we were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And we film it. That's why, like, our original branding is we film a conversation we're going to have anyway and put them on the internet, because that's the reality of it.
We filmed gaming we were going to have anyway.
Right, exactly. So I wanted to play It Takes Two. I haven't got around to it. I'm not going to jam it with anyone else.
Yeah.
So if we ever play it, it will be we playing it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. It looked interesting. It seemed like a fun way to like tackle it. It also looks pretty good. I like the visuals of it.
Cool.
So kind of honourable mention, but I haven't played it. I don't know. It's one that I wish I'd played.
All right.
So that's the last one on my list.
The last honourable mention on my list, Returnal.
Okay.
I recently finished this game, got to the end. The ending is...
I heard strange.
Not inconclusive, but it doesn't give you an answer. It's one of those ones where it's like, what do you think happened?
You're right.
And I'm going to tell it here because it's been out for so many months now, it's not even a spoiler anymore.
Spoiler warning.
The whole thing is that you're an astronaut, you're in space, you're about to land on a planet, and
also
then
you brought your childhood home with you?
Kind of, yeah, maybe. Something flashes in front of your screen. It's an astronaut in an old time suit.
Okay.
So you know from the concept art, she's wearing a more modern one, a more futuristic one, old time like Apollo 13 style suit and whatnot. And you have an explosion in one of your engines, and you crash land on this planet, and then you go through these loops where you're trying to destroy aliens, trying to find what's called the signal, this white noise she calls it. And you get to the end of the loops, you get through all these bosses and stuff like that. And in the end, you see this cutscene where you was driving a car.
Yeah.
And you had a kid in the back.
Right.
The kid had an octopus in her hands, which was sort of reminiscent of some of the aliens on this planet, like octopus arms and whatnot.
Okay.
While you're driving, you hear like a fuzzy sort of like static on the radio.
Yeah.
You look down, there's a specific number that shows up in the game a bunch of times. And then you look,
Mason.
It's basically like that. And then you look out into the road and the astronaut's there. You try to swerve so you don't hit the astronaut, go off of a bridge and land in water.
Right.
You get your consciousness back and you can see like your daughter's in the back. You can't reach her because like your seatbelt's holding you. But then the alien is somehow in the water on planet Earth.
Right.
And the alien grabs you and saves you from the car.
Okay.
But doesn't save your daughter.
Tight.
And then there's a second end scene after you go back there.
Okay.
Because your car is at the end of this cutscene, at the end of this mission.
Okay.
And then you open the car, and then you get another cutscene where someone, an alien-looking figure, is sitting in a wheelchair.
Right.
Calls you Celine, your name.
Yeah.
And it says Thea or something like that, which is your mother's name. And then you get a cutscene where you're swimming to the surface after you've been pulled out of the car.
Right.
And then it ends there.
Nice and clear then. Clear and concise.
And I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm like, what?
It was all a dream. It turns out she was in a coma the whole time.
I don't get it.
She had an aneurysm while driving.
Yeah.
And so the point where she starts seeing the octopus, it's the first part of the aneurysm.
Right.
And that's just it. She just crashes a car and has a stroke.
My theory with this whole thing, don't get me wrong, so the reason why I'm putting it as an honorable mention is because the gameplay is fucking slick. I do love all of the loops, and again, the narrative's woven into the loops. The different types of bosses are fantastic. The way that the movement is fantastic when you're trying to dodge away from like enemy projectiles and stuff like that. It's really, really good. They have these things called parasites, which give you buffs and debuffs. So you have to decide whether or not you want to take it.
You do more damage, but you take more damage.
Exactly. You're like, or your dash cooldown is much greatly increased or whatever it is. Like, really, really fun and innovative stuff. And from a studio that came from fucking arcade games. It's ridiculous how they did that.
Meteor stuff. And then.
But the ending, the way that I interpret it as that she had this accident and she might have been maybe a bit schizophrenic in the first place.
Okay.
Whatever it might be.
The door is not real.
I think what it is, she had trauma from her mother, and her mother was also an astronaut, and she's the astronaut that she's seeing. She has the accident, and the trauma just got exponentially increased because of her daughter that she lost. And everything from that on is just like she's imagining she's on an alien world, and she's made it.
If you could flip the option, she'd just be in a mall somewhere pulling clothes off racks. Exactly.
And I'm thinking this is just all in her head or something like that. However, it's never said. You don't know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I want to speak to the creator just so I can get an answer.
The way you're saying it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. I know if I was playing it, I would have flipped out and been like, I would have been like, you know what, this game is shit. I'm not playing it. You shouldn't play it. It's a waste of your time. But the way you say it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I would hate that. I would hate that.
There's one other thing that I really like about this game is that on top of like having all these like really fast, fluid mechanics and like different types of weapons, cool shooting, and then really, really cool looking boss designs and whatnot in really strange ways. Then suddenly it turns into PT, where you're in this house.
Weird horror stuff,
It's your childhood house, and you go in, barely lit in some corners, and then there's like you can hear your footsteps, and then you turn around and the TV turns on.
Nice.
And
that's
then like
exactly what I want. Yeah.
Toys walk around. You're like, what is it? Why is it suddenly turned into PT? What is it with PlayStation exclusive games where they suddenly just change into another genre?
I don't know.
Kenna did it with Dark Souls.
It became Dark Souls.
And now this is PT. I don't get it. Anyway, I really wanted to give the honorable mention because I had so much fun with it. I can't wait to see what Housemark, the guys that make Returnal, do next. Because that was such a leap for them. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And now with the backing of Sony, now they've been purchased by them, it's going to be interesting to see where they go.
I really keeping my eyes open for guys doing that, where they go from making like arcade shooters to like to Returnal or like, you know, Infamous to Ghost of Tsushima. And it's not just that I love Ghost of Tsushima. I'm so interested in that jump. Like, both of these studios had right, like anyone can make what they want, but like this was not their space. This was not something they do, you know. It's not what they're known for. It was a massive departure. I mean, you can still see and do it so well. Like I would go out of my way to say both of those games did the type of gaming that they're doing. They're the best at the minute. Like, you're not going to convince me that any other game has a better melee combat system than Ghost of Tsushima. It's not out there. And actually, Last of Us 2 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Its combat system's pretty good. It's very similar, but like...
the dodging and stuff like that.
The duels? No.
That guy that makes the GIFs of like PlayStation games and whatnot.
I follow a couple of guys like that.
I think I saw one he made yesterday. And it was... I didn't know this was the way of combat. I think because when you're in the game, you're really just frightened for your life.
Facts.
And the guy...
If you're playing it on the right difficulty, yeah.
Exactly. But the guy shoots 2 guys in the knees.
Yeah.
And then they drop to the ground. And then he stomps on their head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, this was part of the combat? I didn't even know.
It turns out you can do a lot of stuff. Like you can, if you go backwards and roll, she jumps and slides, and you can still shoot people. Like there's all sorts of stuff I didn't know because, like you said, I'm kind of playing the game the way I would play it, right? Which is as a fragile human being. So I don't want to get munched by a zombie, and I want to shoot a guy in the back of the head instead of having a gunfight with him, right?
Or sneak up and like shank him with a knife and whatnot. Because I'm like...
Right, because I don't want to get into like a 1v4, you know, when all I've got is like a dirty rag and a glass bottle. That's just not ideal, you know? There's been a couple of real fights, and I wouldn't take those, you know?
This guy's like, let's make this interesting.
Right. Absolutely. And like you say, if we're playing on the right difficulty, which I don't get me wrong, I have no idea. I presume those guys are playing it on relatively easy so that they can get the clips. Because it's more about the aesthetic. And you have to nail it. But for us, I mean, you're an idiot, but I use difficulty as an entertainment tool, right? The game for like Last of Us needs to be hard enough that I'm in danger. I don't have like excess ammo and stuff. Like it feels right for the world, but not so hard that I have to fight that same bloater for 7 hours like you did that one time.
When you say entertainment, do you mean like for fun?
Yeah, so like there's this weird concept that some people have, which is that like games should be not only, you know, an experience, but you should get enjoyment from them.
Like trophy hunting.
Like that, but just fulfillment. Where like you play a thing and think, man, I'm glad I spent my time doing that, even though I don't have anything tangible to show for it.
You mean like without trophy hunting?
Yeah, so it's like you play the game and like, yeah, you'll get some trophies along the way, but like that's not really the point. The point is to progress from point A to point B and see the characters grow and like develop them, you know, with like skills and just enjoy mastering the game and beating it.
And then get the trophy.
Well, I mean, you probably get a trophy, some trophies.
But like in your version, if you like remove the trophy part,
yeah, you'd still be able to play the game and have fun.
That doesn't make no sense. That doesn't,
yeah,
I can't reconcile those two things.
It's true because we have totally opposite opinions. Which you are seeking trophies, and there's a game in the way.
There is. It's just can you?
Right, and me, I'm trying to play a game, and every now and then I get stupid notifications telling me like, "Oh, defeated 5 enemies." Like,
I don't know, man. Yeah. It's just we just cannot see eye to eye on this. This is just something.
Might as well be ancient Egyptian.
It might as well. Yeah. I'm talking. You're saying stuff. I
see your lips moving, but I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my? I watched the other day.
I was on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then when Jackie Chan says it back to him, he says, "Do you see the words that come out?" I was like,
"Are you speaking English?"
Classic line. Oh, right.
I think I know what your one is.
Let's now say our game of the year. The game of the year from us.
No.
Go on.
Most frustrating game of the year.
Ooh.
For me.
Before we do that, yes.
For me, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Most frustrating game of the year. Okay.
Yeah, I had so many freaking bugs with this game. So many bugs and multiple game-breaking bugs. Multiple bugs where, like, everybody saw lots of people, again, if you follow me on Twitter, you saw the first bug I got was literally 20 minutes into the game, where you're, like, on the first ship and there's, like, ship-eating bugs and you shoot them. And on my version, hard-locked to that one thing, could not progress.
You're trying to go around it.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, like, I could see, if you wait long enough, Groot will head off and duck under a thing, so I could see where it was, but my camera's hard-locked behind me, and part of the mechanic to get through a thing is you have to be looking at it as well. So I could get to where I'm supposed to be, but couldn't progress.
God damn it.
And even if I could, I don't know if it would have unlocked the camera, so I had to uninstall and reload a couple of times to get that off. That was within 20 minutes. Then I had the another one where Drax is supposed to throw a rock. Actually, that's not true. I had one where I got somewhere I wasn't supposed to and didn't realize that you're supposed to destroy a thing. I just jumped around it and could not get the crew to come with me because
your fam's just like
because they're waiting for this thing to be destroyed. It took me a while to figure that one out. That was my fault. So that was potentially game breaking, but it wasn't obvious that was a thing you needed to destroy.
We could do a whole YouTube series of you with buggy games.
At least I didn't fall through the world like in Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
That was frustrating.
Yeah.
But so then there were two final potentially game-ending bugs for me. So one is you're on another planet and you need Drax to pick up a boulder and throw it to like get an obstacle out of the way. And I keep trying to do it. He's just like, where should I put it, Peter Quill? Like, no, he's even saying it. That would look good in orbit. Drax, you could throw this. Click it. Where should I put it?
God
Drax.
damn it.
That took a long time to resolve. I was determined to resolve it because everybody said how good the game was. But it took a long time. A couple reinstalls.
That sounds pretty infuriating. Unfortunately for you, my games work flawlessly whenever I play them. I think it's something to do with me not sucking.
When I'm here. Like it's maybe it's my hardware, but
geographic location is like, I know where I am. Okay, all right. Break everything.
Well, we've had that with other things though. We've had it with like Wi-Fi stuff.
The laptop Skype calls when we were chatting about it, was like, why does this work at home and not here?
Right. So like I think there may be a thing to this.
Technology's weird.
It is weird. And then the final bug was facing, I won't say who, but it's one of the final boss fights where it's guys goes through cycles. You take down a shield, you take down the health, the shield comes back, and you just sort of do that. You learn the mechanics and get through it. Obviously I lost a few times because I'm learning the boss fight.
And you're shit.
And I'm shit. But there were a couple of times where one, I took his shield down, took his health down, the shield never came up, but his health wouldn't go down any further. And a couple of times where the shield just never went down after a certain point. And he kept going through the cycle of like dropping down, and this is when you damage him, but just wouldn't take damage. The shield was up. That was super frustrating. But and then reloading, I did manage to get him. So I did complete it, but that was by far this year's most frustrating game by a long way.
That's really bad because I would have been like, and eventually just ducked out of that.
Everybody said it's so good, you got to play it. So I did keep going, but there were a couple points like the Drax Rock thing. There is no way I can do like a boss fight. I can maybe outskill it, given enough times and finding a couple of exploits, so I can maybe get around it. But like a point where you cannot progress unless a character does a thing and they won't do it, that's that, Yeah. But I managed to get it. But easily the most frustrating game. Easily. And all of you have seen proof. There is nothing I could have done these were not me. Right?
Up until now, really, you're just like saying it and people are like, oh, Sheps, typical Sheps.
Right.
Here
so,
we
like,
go.
The common
you've got the evidence
one
of it.
is we played on stream The Last of Us Remastered.
Yeah.
The first one. And it was early on. We go through the broken skyscraper, and it's your first clicker, right? And it's supposed to be like you're supposed to learn how to stealth kill it. This thing could detect me no matter where I was, if I was stealth behind cover. And it was like, you're just shit, do it this way. I'm like, it's not like it's like.
I mean, yes, but this time
you're not wrong, but that isn't the answer to this problem. And here is other examples of that, because everyone's just like, you're just shit, because it looked like it was just me, not giving away my position, but it wasn't, and that was really frustrating. But now you've all seen it. So get fricked. You suck, not me. What about you? Most frustrating game?
Do you know what? This thing, I don't have frustrating games. That's the thing. I've been lucky that I don't get like bugs or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I'm always playing games that I really enjoy. The only frustration, as I said, was maybe I could say Kenna Bridge of Spirits.
Right.
Where it just turned into... do you know what, actually? Do you know what? I'm gonna change my answer.
Yeah.
There's one element of Returnal that frustrated the crap out of me. And it's the random nature of the collectibles. Because it's all... In order for me to get the platinum, I'm like 4 trophies away, but they're like... You have to get these like ciphers. There's like these glowing elements on a wall in each of these locations. And I'm like 1 or 2 away in each of these locations to get these trophies. And for fuck's sake, do they not spawn?
Right.
I'm going through the entire level and it's like looking through every nook and cranny. Not there. All right, it must mean it didn't spawn on this run. I'll have to restart and do it again.
Yeah.
Go through it all. And I'm like, these are 45-minute runs. I can't keep doing this for the rest of my life.
Just take another 6-year platinum. It's fine.
It's gonna be one of them fucking things where I'm like, I'm 1 trophy away from the Returnal platinum.
Say,
and I'm still going.
There is like a toxic nature with devs and platinums, which is so like Destiny's a terrible example of this. But like, if you're gonna make it have trophies, which most games do because they know that people like to trophy hunt, it should be possible to get the platinum regardless of things. So like it should be based on stuff that is always going to be on the level.
Yes.
Right? For you to find, despite the fact that Returnal is such a RNGesus heavy game. For like the combat and stuff, cool. But like if there's an item or something or a collectible, it should always be in the hidden spot.
Especially because these cipher glyph things and whatnot, they're only lore related.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, if you get it, then you get a huge buff in your damage.
Right.
It's just so it unlocks more of the story and like, it's not going to affect the game at all. Why are you making it so fucking difficult? It's not like there's something else like if you get this, you'll break the game. It's like, no, it's just to piss me off. It's just to piss me off.
I thought you said you didn't have any frustrating...
Okay, maybe I have a little bit. Again, it's trophy related. It has to be, right? It's Eddie. What do you think? But okay, that bit is frustrating, and I've still got it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get this thing just to be. I'm gonna tweet the devs, but aha! Despite
I got it, you bastards!
Everything you were trying to do, I fucking got it, you bastards.
Also, while you're tweeting devs, hit up the guys at Sucker Punch for me.
Just, I'll put in a good word for you.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, most infuriating game there. All right, the time has come now.
Yeah.
Let us talk about our game of the year 2021. Official game of the year of the True Gamer podcast by the hosts. What is your game of the year?
Marvel's Avengers, no, really.
Oh, here we go, boys.
I got it. Got him. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Guess what? That's mine as well. Yeah. Hey, let's do it there.
By far, my most infuriating game, but also one of the most enjoyable.
It came out of nowhere as well, right?
Yeah, and especially it had Marvel attached to it, and the game that came out prior to that was not so good.
The way the thing was always, I mean, the only exception was Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, that's not the same.
We was like, when a game comes out and it's Marvel, usually that means it's going to be a stinker.
Right.
They make great movies, they don't make great games. It was always DC that make great games, but they make bad movies, except for obviously Justice League and Batman, Superman, and Man of Steel, all that sort of stuff, obviously. But that was always the trend. And we was like, prepare for another stinker. Yeah. And then we saw the gameplay they showed off, and it
looked trash,
choppy as hell.
And then there was this weird bit where like Drax throws Rocket, and it looks like he asks you what to do, but you don't get a say, and then he just hurls Rocket, and Rocket gives you shit.
And then the way they showed off, because it was they did it for us really to make it stream safe.
Yeah,
they changed the music, and the music was drastically worse.
Awful. Yeah, because the music's so good.
The music's great.
Yeah, brilliant.
Randomly in the ship here, and never gonna give you up, and never gonna let you down.
Absolutely cannot win best soundtrack of awards. That's ridiculous.
That's dumb.
It's not an original soundtrack.
But then it just came up, and we got this game and blew us all away.
Funnily enough, one of my massive pros to the game is that everybody looks different, which is one of the biggest cons to Marvel's Avengers. But this, I went into it, I'm like, they don't look right.
Yeah.
30 seconds in, I'm used to it. Almost immediately. And not only do they all look right, they're fine, I mean, but they all look right for the character. I really like the way they all look. Like Gamora looks perfect. You know, they're actually hot as balls. Like, gorgeous. Drax looks great.
Hot as balls as well.
Hot as balls. Also, I loved, I got a lot of the skins.
Yeah.
By the way, some of those New Game
I got
Plus...
all of them, just in case you know, Platinum Trophy.
Yeah,
no
of course
big deal.
Are some of those New Game Plus only?
Yes.
I was going to say, because there's a bunch missing, and I guarantee they were not wherever this... You know what I mean? Like, I got probably everything you can get on the first run. Almost everything for Groot, almost everything for Rocket.
I think everyone...
Only 4 for Peter Quill, though.
Peter's one, there's only 4 in New Game Plus, and they're all Peter's ones.
Yeah.
So those are the only ones that you're missing out on. You must. The other ones are hidden. There's because I did all the trophies and whatnot. Some of them are not like, oh, there's just in this left room over here. Some of them are like in this left room, climb up to an area that normally you wouldn't go to.
I found a lot of those
over this bench and whatnot. And
I did find a lot,
and some of them are story locked out as well.
Oh, really?
So there's one. You know, the little girl. Did you get a card from the little girl?
Card from the little girl.
From Nikki.
Card, maybe.
If you choose a certain dialogue, she gives you a key card. If you
I did get that, and I got that skin.
If you don't get that key card, you don't get that skin. So that's another one of those things, isn't it?
I did get that skin. Yeah, so I got a lot of them, not all of them, but obviously, but I probably half of everything available because I explore a lot.
And they look good, don't they?
They look really good. Initially, Peter Quill's ones are a lot of like uniformy type things, and I didn't like the first few, but then there's one that just looked great, and I loved the final skin of like the almost that end game suit type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, the skins are great. Groot's apocalypse skin or whatever looks sick. I had that one for a lot of it. Skins are great. It was a lot of fun. Their appearance, which I thought would bug me, being different, was perfect. It was really what I needed to not impact the movies.
Yeah.
And it is an entirely different timeline.
Yeah.
Like little touches, like Drax's kid's name's the same, but his wife's name's different.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah, so his kid's name's always Camaria or something.
Okay.
But in the movies, his wife's Ovette, and in this it's Pavar or something like that. Like it's slightly different, you know.
Okay.
And also, like his story is different. There's all this stuff that gets referenced really early on to let you know, yeah, this is not the Guardians of the Galaxy
not the movie
that you know. I really enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, and on the characters as well as them, they look different.
Yeah,
they all owned their character though. They did it so perfectly. Like the
I fully believed every performance.
Yeah. Like if the movie hadn't come out, I would have still been like, okay, this is the Guardians of the Galaxy. In fact, I wonder what the world would have been like if it was the other way around.
I was about to say, if the movie had come out second, we might have beef with it.
We might have had issues with it, right? Because they're both great. They both nail the comedy.
Yeah.
They both say their exact fun
stuff.
Oh
my god, this game is so funny.
Yeah.
The first time you're on Nowhere,
yeah,
you can't shoot anything.
Yeah.
You don't have any guns. But someone said something I didn't like as like a passing comment, and I tried to shoot him, and Pete just goes pew 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 pew. I died laughing
because you can't actually kill them. So it's like.
He does finger guns. He goes pew 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 pew. It was just some really great stuff.
My favorite joke of the whole thing, my favorite like passing joke was it was in that elevator with the thing and whatnot.
I also picked, just like you, at random, not at random, but the one I wanted, and got the exact same line. Yeah,
is like it's typical Peter Quill dumbness.
Yeah,
but at the perfect moment,
yeah,
where he just tries to distract from the situation and tries to unlock the lockdown that's on this lift that's been put by the lead person.
Like, computer lockdown.
And he's like,
computer, belay that. The unlock.
Computer unlock down. Undo the lockdown of the elevator.
Belay that. It's okay. Continue the elevator. And both of them look at him like,
"Fuck it!" They're like, "You're the biggest idiot in the world," and it's like, "That's Peter Quill."
I will say, in typical me fashion, I immediately called the thing, the Peter Quill thing reveal, up until the point that they say it, and then I'm like, "This is definitely not the case." So I called it like, "I bet this."
That's the. So you said it in the last episode. You were like, "She's so and so," and I was like, "Interesting."
But I hadn't got to the point where we're told. And then as soon as we're told and he starts dealing with it, I'm like, there's no way.
Because I was like, funny you should say that because it's exactly the opposite. So I like that they did that, by the way.
It was good.
It was very good. It's sort of like...
And also I like the fact that he struggles with it. Like that he gets to a point of accepting the thing, and...
We're talking about something that... We don't want to spoil it for
spoilers, and it's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And not sweet, but like it's an interesting growth moment.
Yeah.
But like he comes to terms with it and then finds out that it's not correct, and he has like a bit of, I don't know, almost grief about that he lost the thing that he never had, but then he still needs to do the thing at the end. And I don't know.
If you have played this game, you obviously know what we're talking about. I feel like we've gone around it enough for you to know what it is.
Yeah.
If you haven't played this game,
totally worth it.
Get on it.
Totally worth it.
Worth every penny, every moment. It's just
it
so
is absolutely worth the. What is the price? 70.
60, 70, something like that.
It's absolutely worth that. And to be honest, you can easily game share, get that down to half price. Like, I would say it's worth the money.
Pro tip as well, it's available on PS4, and then it's got the PS5 upgrade for free. So if you find a cheap PS4 version, get that shit as well. So there's that option too. Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely worth playing. Game of the year. Not like, look, it didn't blow me out of the water for like the gameplay, which was fun, by the way. And by the end of it, I complained that that combat system, it was just a little bit clunky, and I didn't feel like I'd really mastered it. By the end of it, I was like hot shit with it. I just feel like time doesn't slow down enough. So while you're thinking about where that new move went in the first stages, you're getting destroyed.
I feel like a lot of that time as well was like, it's, as you said, it's not slowed down enough. So I'm like, I just have to press one of these buttons now. Like, I'm going to do a move and it's going to cause damage. Don't think too much about it.
Exactly.
When really, if I thought about it, it could have ended up better.
I did that a bunch where I'm like, quick, use the move. Oh man, I wanted to use Gamora's super move, not that one.
I was saving that for something else and cool down now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was our game of the year. I'm now going to read through some of our bros who've written. And first one on Patreon, just like you guys can if you want to become a patron.
That's right.
Priority comments. You get that shit right here. This is Sheps' Crusty Right Nut.
Oh, God.
And he writes in, my personal game of the year, Gotti, is Gotg. Guardians of the Galaxy. Man, with finding
good taste
right here. It's been a while since I had that much fun playing a game. It made me laugh, it made me sad, it made me happy, and I can't wait to get a very well-deserved sequel. Honestly, that would be great.
Absolutely.
And it's set up for it as well, so you can have it.
Well, and they don't have to worry about the movies. It is well-established and entirely different timeline.
Universe.
There's a bunch of stuff that cannot exist in this universe because of the events and vice versa,
which is fine. I'm fine with keeping the game separate from the movies.
Absolutely.
We've had movie games, they've not turned out well, right. Just keep them to themselves now.
But also it banged, just like Miles Morales. It banged. I mean, he got an animated movie, but by the way, I said a while ago they should do a Pete Miles, you know how Call of Duty used to change devs? Let's get a Miles Morales movie, like a live action one. Also, they primed it in Spider-Verse. He's like, oh, you help poor people, you're from Queens, I just thought you'd be black. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
The way he mentioned it, I was like, Miles Morales.
Like, we mentioned it, let's do it.
It's going to happen. It has to.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's Sheps' question right there. Thank you very much for writing in.
Yeah, appreciate you, bro.
There. You're a legend. All right, let's kick over to our Discord server, where you guys can write in by clicking the link in the description. Sean writes in, surprise, surprise. And he says, Guardians of the Galaxy is my Gotti. Because it's the game I enjoyed the most this year, the story, the acting, and the gameplay was better than I expected from the demos and the trailer we saw before release. Perfectly said, because it was we all thought that this was going to be dead on arrival. I remember I did the Twitch stream where we was watching it.
We destroyed it.
It was like, I can smell a stinker coming a mile off, and this is it.
We destroyed it.
Boy, this is awful. Boy, how wrong
egg
we were.
on our face.
Proper.
And I'm glad for it. Yeah, I'll eat that pie. That sounds awful.
Pie is a euphemism for
we know. I'm so glad to be wrong. It was great. It was such a good game. I'm so glad I was wrong about it. Eagly Alpha Aquila.
You think you can get away from it? We're gonna call you Aquila anyway. Okay.
It takes two. Sorry, Alan.
Alan Wake got snubbed right there. Whoa. Never gonna forgive you.
After years of single player experiences with own games on Xbox console. Okay, cool. I paid for online multiplayer access, though of course through Game Pass. I got the physical edition for a cheap price, and then halved it further with a mate. Because it's a 2-player story game. It was my second true online multiplayer game after A Way Out, also by Hazelight Studios, and also Just Too Good, which was my first. That's multiplayer. Played a week or so before starting this one. What? Oh, he played that a week before. It Takes Two. Sorry. Me and my friend kept talking about the game as you do when you play, and kept being stunned by what it gave us for what felt like a heavily discounted price, even without the sale. Very beautiful, with diverse gameplay and a fun and at times tragic story involving entertaining characters. Awesome.
Lovely. Good to hear it.
That was my regret. I didn't play it game yet. Yeah. And it sounds like,
Sounds like we're in for a treat, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Dark Diogo, computer lad, writes in. He says, my personal game of the year, It Takes Two and Kenna, if it weren't some of the obvious choices. Actually, he strikes that all out. And he says, Lost Judgment. He says, this game might strike as very odd with its intricate game mechanics for stealth, climbing, dance rhythm game, racing, etc. That is a very weird combination.
That is an odd combo.
It's like, what game genre would you put yourself in? Everything.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things.
Yes.
You're at the ESRB rating, so like we need to put down a game category. Tick every box. It's the only
Which
one
category?
applies.
Yes.
But the combat, the main gameplay mechanic, is so smooth, especially complex and yet simple, and the most stylish as fuck. He's put some gifs down here, and it looks really stylish.
It does look good, yeah.
Although one of those guys, he's got Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
What the hell? Is Wolverine in this game?
I don't think so.
Is this set in Marvel? Is this the Insomniac game we're getting?
Oh shit!
It's out already. The main story is at the heart of this game, though, and it's why it's getting my personal game of the year. What starts out as a simple tale of trying to stop bullying in a secondary school. Why is it starting a second?
It's Bully.
Oh,
Bully
wait,
2.
He actually says, why a secondary school would hire private detectives for this is odd.
Hey man, we need a way in, okay?
We need something, just let that one slide. Spirals out into a murder mystery, government conspiracy, gang takeover, and epic anime action
What's
moments.
going on at this high school?
This is weird, right? I don't know how I might need to sneeze.
Bless you.
Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much. Bless you, my child.
In nobody patchy.
I did actually get fake ordained or real ordained online in secondary school.
Oh yeah?
Just so I could literally print out the paper and then go around to all my friends and go, bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. Bless you, my child. I don't know if that thing's real, and I don't know what website I went to find out if it was. But there you go.
That's pretty funny.
I could bless you all at the next meetup, everyone. The characters are all a delight and enhance every scene they're in. Honestly, none of them are bad. The way the story keeps getting better and bonkers in a good way, with each chapter, each twist, each revelation is another reason why it's my game of the year. Also, yes, there's very weeb mini games to dabble in.
Well, why do you say that? Clear game of the year winner.
Start with the gold, man. I wonder what he means, because I think I've seen... Is it in Final Fantasy where there's a food mini game with like T4 Aerith or something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's one of like the staples of these kind of things. I'd like to see what the weeb mini games are. And he puts an Ainsley face at the end.
Yeah, boy.
P.S. I also timed me reading this to check if it was under a minute, because I said make it under a minute, guys. And it is, but I'm sure you'll take longer because the year 2 reading ages. And
wow, just called out.
Fucking son of a bitch! I'm gonna delete that comment. We're not reading that out. Okay?
We'll just snip
that out right there.
Isak says, my game of the year 2021 was Kenna Bridges Spirits. Ratchet & Clank comes close, but it just didn't leave the same impact on me as Kenna. The music of Kenna is unique and absolutely beautiful. The world and art style is fantastic. The ending left me satisfied, but also left me wanting a sequel at the same time. The boss fights offered just the right amount of challenge/bullshit. I think no other indie game has left the same impact on me as this game has. That's a really important thing to mention, actually.
Yeah.
Which is that technically, and kind of in reality, because it's their first one, it's an indie title. Now, they do animation stuff, but it was their first ever game. The fact that it was even in the discussion is pretty major.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
It is really impressive. Great gaming. I do love that we've kind of all landed in the same sort of area.
Yeah.
I like the group of lads we've got here.
Yeah.
They've got good taste.
A lot of good takes. I also do really want to check out Lost Judgment. Diogo's been talking about it for probably a couple months.
Him and Josh Anderson as well. Big fans of it. They're of the weeb persuasion.
They have
anyway.
good takes, yeah.
So I don't know how much I can trust them,
Right.
really. But yeah, they've
Talking of weeb news, and I know you'll be excited for this. Attack on Titan Season 4 Part 2 comes out soon, so you'll have to catch up on all of the 4.5 seasons so far, so that you can enjoy it with us.
OMG!
Yay! I'll send you some gifts so you get a feel for like the Titans. If people will know what I'm talking about. It's good fun.
It's 2022 and I already want to end it. Okay. Now.
Yeah.
All the lads have written in with their personal games of the year. I did ask everyone to also vote in a poll.
Yes, you did, yeah.
For our community, People's Choice, True Gamer Game of the Year. 2021.
Did you say Halo and insinuate that we were talking about the campaign, but actually no, everybody was talking about the multiplayer? Did you put that in there as well?
I did it the exact same way Jeff did it, okay? So, the greatly awaited True Gamer Podcast People's Choice Game of the Year goes to Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Congratulations, guys. Eidos Montreal, you guys can come by and pick up your award anytime you want. It's going to be waiting for you here.
Well done. Golf clap.
Just as soon as we print it and make it, whether we're going to be doing it.
That's the big award, obviously. That's the one that counts.
That's the one that counts.
That is the Conbros Gotti 2021.
Exactly.
Well done. That is like, I mean, imagine if you're an actor and you get an Oscar, same sort of deal.
Same level.
About there.
You're going to put it on your shelf. You're going to brag about it to negotiate better salaries and stuff like that.
Investors. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Acquisition deals, like if you wanted Sony to pick you up or something like that.
Conbros True Gamer Podcast People's Choice Award winner. Come on, man.
It just rolls off the tongue as well.
Rolls off the tongue. It rolls off. Oh, the Bro Podcast the podcast winner.
Mate.
Whoa!
Wow!
Abbreviated.
Is that a real one? Oh my god! I've never seen one in person.
Oh my god!
Can I touch it? You can't touch it.
There's only 3 in existence.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was really good. In second place, it was Kennebridge with Spirits.
Fair enough.
That's really awesome right there. Thank you all for
I don't think I would have given it second. I think there are a lot of other games out there that probably, for me, would have edged out. I think it's that clunky gameplay. But good game. Should be on the list for sure, where, unfortunately, Alpha, Forza isn't. It shouldn't be on there.
Unfortunately, right?
Yeah,
unfortunately. Exactly.
Wink, wink.
I want to do this bit at the end. We've done our Game of the Year discussion. Okay. That's everything right here. I want to briefly mention this stuff because this is the True Gamer Podcast and it's happened this week. Minor things have happened that we could be excited about.
Yeah.
A couple of. Let me just pull up my notes just here.
Should we just leave this for next week?
Should we do that?
Let's do that.
All right, let's do that. I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's just leave this pure
episode.
Yeah, exactly. But guys, thank you all for tuning in for another episode of True Gamer Podcast. As I said, tomorrow, if you're getting this on public feeds, is going to be Conbrosations Day.
That's right.
You guys should all be there. Your attendance is mandatory.
Yeah.
There's no question about this. You have to do it.
You have to be there.
And
doesn't matter if you got what you have to phone in or move your shifts around. But
don't go.
You have to be there.
Ben
Sunday the 9th. Did he?
Ben actually was like, "Oh no, I'm working on Sunday. I'm going to see if I can swap with someone." And he did it.
I'm really sorry about that, by the way. It was totally my fault that it wasn't on the Saturday.
Even Chris was like, "So Conbros is happening Saturday, right?" It's like, "No, Sunday."
Yeah. The worst thing was I was big on telling everybody it's Saturday the 8th. No. Sunday the 9th, like I've always said.
Yeah, exactly. Sunday the 9th, be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And next week will be our regular scheduled program.
That's right.
Big meaty stuff happening right there. All right, guys. Bro,
I'll catch you in the next
one.
one.
Thanks for being here. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for your words and your wisdom. And I'll catch you in the next one. It needs the bass.
Do we? I really feel like you have to keep that on the floor, innit? That sounds so much better.
The thing is, the audio for music sounds great. When it comes to voices, it's really too bassy. It's like
right.
What is this issue right there? Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.